It's now the 4th of September. Some time's running away with itself here in Nice, and I'm interviewing Daniel, Cloudwalker. So, what's your name?
I'm Daniel, or Cloudwalker is my trail name.
And so that's your WordPress channel as well?
Yeah, Daniel Cloudwalker.
And where are you from?
Seattle, Washington.
Yeah. And how long have you been in Europe?
Something like 14 weeks.
And what have you been doing over here?
I'm a backpacker.
Yeah.
I am walking across the Alps and then kind of walking back. I'm trying to do all 5 Via Alpina network trails, so it's about a 5,700 kilometer walk.
So what made you decide to do this trip?
When?
Yeah. So what made you decide to do this trip?
Oh. So I was walking in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I met a Frenchman in Tongariro National Park. We were talking about adventures, and he asked me, have you ever spent time in the Alps, or have you ever spent time in Europe? I said, no, I'm not really interested. And he said, well, this is a really interesting trail I think you should consider. He told me about this one. And, so I said, well, that does sound pretty interesting. And he also, then he said, well, the other thing is too, no one has done all 5 network trails in one season. Yeah. So I said, well, I can do that.
So have you entered for the Guinness Book of Records?
I don't know if it'll be a world record per se, but maybe a first.
Yes.
I hope.
So how long have you been doing these high level ridge walks or alpine walks?
So I did my first through hike in 2012. I did the Pacific Crest Trail. Yeah. And then every so often I'll do another one. My last major hike. I did the Israel National Trail. It's not really an alpine trail, and it's kind of short. It's about 700 miles. Yeah. So I guess the last alpine trail I did was the Te Aroa track in New Zealand.
So how do you navigate your way around?
Map and compass.
Yeah.
Pretty old school.
So you learned the basic skills?
I did. My dad's an Eagle Scout. Took me into the wilderness and showed me how to use a topographic map.
That's around Seattle, around the Rockies and
Cascades.
Yeah, I think I've been there a long time ago.
Yeah. And my dad is pretty hardcore. So. Yeah.
So how long of a break do you have in between your expeditions?
Every time I finish a trail, I will often take a day off. Today was took an extra day off.
Yeah.
For this one.
Had a few beers and people in the hostel.
Yeah. Met a few new friends. So.
Yeah. So how long's your website been up and running?
Oh, I suppose maybe 1 or 2 years. Yeah. Just recently I've been trying to add more and more content to it. Yeah. But just now, anyways, I don't update it too often. Maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, something like this.
And how many continents have you been to? Because you've done New Zealand as well, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. So 6 out of 7. I haven't been to Antarctica yet. Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see. Maybe one of these days.
How do you cope mentally when you're traveling by yourself all the time?
How do I cope with it? Or?
Because you've got to have a certain mental state to be so isolated all the time. So How do you cope with that?
I think part of it, honestly, is just mentality. Yeah. Part of it is trying to receive something from nature. I think that keeps me busy. I do have a lot of mental games that I play with myself. So sometimes I'll just pick a topic and try to solve it. Try to figure out a way to save the world. Sometimes I just think about, like, what am I going to do when I'm not backpacking? Yeah. Sometimes I just think about life.
The meaning of life.
Something like that.
From Monty Python.
Yeah. I think it's more like I walk and walk and walk, and as I do that, it's sort of like my mind just becomes clear and then things come to mind. Yeah. And I just sort of wait. It's almost like a waiting game, I think, for myself.
What's the most difficult situation you've been in on these trips? Weather-wise or any other way, really?
Most difficult situation.
Where you've had to find it difficult to get through.
Yeah,
There must have been times.
I think that it's not so much difficult experiences as much as it is trying to keep a strong mentality.
Yeah.
Like sometimes my hardest days are actually really nice days. Like the trail is great, the weather's great, everything's great. But it's the game that you're playing up here.
It's nothing to challenge you.
Yeah, I think for myself anyway, sometimes walking and you start to feel like I've been doing this for a really long time.
Yeah.
Why am I out here? And that's when I lose the positive mentality of why I'm doing what I'm doing, that's when things become difficult.
Yeah.
And if I have that positive mentality, it doesn't really matter what I'm facing. It doesn't matter if it's raining and I'm lost or whatever. If I have that positive outlook, everything kind of works out well.
So what's the worst sort of weather conditions you've had?
And this trail, I had like 10 days of rain in Italy, and it just sucked. Really bad.
Mostly draining.
Very, and especially for me, it seems that every backpacker has kind of a strength and weakness.
Yeah.
That I do really well in the desert.
Yeah.
Heat doesn't bother me. Thirst doesn't particularly bother me usually, but the rain is very psychologically difficult for me.
What do you do for food on long trips when you're isolated?
So it depends on which country I'm in.
Yeah.
In the U.S., for instance, crossing some of the larger wilderness areas, I just have to pack a lot of food.
Yeah. So that's a lot of extra weight that you've got to carry.
Yeah. Here in Europe, there's food everywhere. All I have to do is make sure I have money.
Yes.
And
that's it. It can be expensive.
Sometimes it'll be expensive, but at least there will always be food.
Yeah.
So Europe is pretty great. If I run out of money, then I just have to sing a good enough song for somebody at a refuge.
On average, what's the weight of your backpack?
So base weight is kind of a hiker term. No food, no water.
Yeah.
Right now it's about 8 kg.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit heavy.
And you've got a tent in there as well?
Yes, I do. Usually it's closer to 7 kg, but overseas travel I have to pack a couple extra things.
Yeah. Do you have a sort of stove as well?
No, I don't cook. Eat a lot of cookies, a lot of Nutella and chips.
Yeah.
So.
And drink beers to socialise with people on the trail as well.
I do like a good beer.
Because you met some interesting characters, haven't you? You met a guy sort of singing to himself in a little hut in the Alps.
Yep. Lots of interesting people, even just at this hostel. Some hardcore bikers and walkers.
Doing the same thing really, but with bikes.
Yeah.
Going up into the Alps and being at one with the world.
Trying to, anyways. I mean, yeah.
Thanks a lot and good luck with your trip.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you, Chris.
And you.
De gaieté dans ses yeux, un espoir merveilleux qui donne le frisson. C'est si bon, et si nous nous aimons, cherchez pas la raison. Non, c'est parce que c'est si bon. Elle faisait le trottoir le long de l'église. Il y a bien des curés qui prient dans la rue. Elle avait 20 ans de loyaux services, 20 ans de grande vie et de petites vertus. Moi en ce temps-là, j'allais à confesse tous les mercredis à 5h15. J'étais le dernier à parler de fesses Et si j'y pensais, c'était par hasard, ma demoiselle de déshonneur, mon premier amour d'un quart d'heure. Ce mercredi-là, j'étais en avance, j'avais déserté les cours de français et je m'étais fait une belle conscience lorsque j'entendis « Tu viens mon Mickey ?» Un coup d'œil devant, un coup d'œil derrière, j'étais le seul biquet à 100 lieues autour. Alors j'ai suivi en faisant ma prière. Au lieu de faire l'apôtre, je lui ai fait l'amour. Ma demoiselle de déshonneur, mon premier amour d'un quart d'heure.
Thanks to Daniel the Skywalker at WordPress.com.
Et c'est l'avêtement.
Thanks to the great people of Marseille and Nice. Music on this video is by Chris Abel from Nice, with great thanks. This has been a Chris Summerfield video production 2017. You can contact me at ccsphoto12@hotmail.com, and if you can help to sponsor my videos, you can PayPal me at ccsphoto1@gmail.com. Thanks for watching the video and watch the continuing series.
D'un coucher de soleil
It's a lifestyle.
ou le chant de muguet.